Jim Hotaling back with Mehdi, and Mehdi, there was a recent survey of CEOs globally, and over 80% of these CEOs answered the survey on the question of, do you have the talent to execute your strategy? And they said no. So 80% of the current CEOs believe that they do not have the talent internally to their organization to execute on their strategy. How do you think we got to such a place where 80% of CEOs can't perform their strategy and execute on their strategy? And what do you think are some possible solutions?
I think, again, that the world is moving so fast that people that you find within your organization don't necessarily have the skills needed to execute anything you need to execute in your strategy. If you take IT again, for instance, IT was a topic where back in 20 years ago, you used to have a computer, whatever IT system, that the emails, and that's it. It was quite easy. Mm-hmm. Today it's totally different, and people don't really moving your company for a normal company to a digital company where everything is the processes are totally reviewed. Need some skills that you won't necessarily find within the organization you have. One thing is, again, depending on the countries, people would stay in the US, for example. I know that one stat is in a lifetime career, people will change their job 11 times. In Europe, in France, even in North Africa, in Morocco, people would change their job 3 to 4 times in a career. Okay. So again, in the US, it's different. You're on the good side of it. In Europe, people will change 4 times in their career. So that means that they will stay in one job for 10 to 15 years. 10 to 15 years, go back 10 to 15 years from now and think of how was the technology, what business was, and how we used to do business.
Completely different.
So someone who don't go train every single year for new things will not be able to understand or execute anything that a CEO would say. Another thing is, I think that even CEOs need that. So probably those 80% of the CEOs are on the stat will be also 80% of the CEOs don't have the skills to execute the right strategy for the coming 20 years.
It's a fantastic point.
So that's, again, another point that needs to be looked in these CEOs. Do they have the skills? Do they have the understanding of what's happening today and how things will move? I would have been glad to be in the last board meeting of a company called Kodak to understand what was the last thing. The world was there. Probably some people would say, "Don't worry, things will change again. We have time." So that's the things. Kodak was a company that used to employ 160,000 people, and it disappeared overnight, almost overnight. Probably because some people at that time did not understand how fast technology would move and how quickly a phone will replace a
regular camera.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can get into you can summarize almost all of this about there's a danger of having a fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset. And it's a dangerous thing for CEOs. CEOs just think they've got it all, that's their fixed mindset. The ones that are successful continue to grow every day. The future is being pulled forward at a rapid pace, unlike ever before, and we just got to be ready for it.
Much faster than before.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thanks for your insights. We appreciate it. Thank you.